Instead of a show inventory overlay, we really need like an inventory overlay toggle. So we need some sort of flag that indicate so we'll put it here for now. So then we have in our toggle, or our event handling code will say the inventory screen is not showing. Show it. Oh, you know what? We don't need to be this, we don't need a whole routine to hide it. Yeah, we can do. I was gonna say we could just stop drawing it, but let's see. Takes a screen. Really what we want to do is we want to pop the topmost view off the stack. So get familiar with my list code and it's not what I'm doing. So we've got insert after. List remove. Drive list remove. I don't have a good way to what I need to do is save a pointer to this overlay view, and then I can say remove this item off of the list. So maybe I don't need the flag. Because what we can do is just test if this new pointer is null. So instead of this overlay view, I'm going to say this is my inventory view. And add that. Then I think I only want to do that if I'm not already showing it. So I'll do if inventory view is not is equal to null. Just as some protection. And in this case, what I want to do is the opposite. So what I'm going to do is, if the inventory view pointer is not null, I want to remove it. So I do list, let's see. List remove. That's if I have the element, but I want to do list remove element with data, because I have the data. List I'm sending it is screen views, and the data I have is inventory view. So that'll return nothing. It returns void. Does it delete? It calls list remove. Right, so the element's removed from the list. Does not deallocate the data being pointed at, though, because that's not the list's responsibility. Okay, that's what I was trying to... Right, so now that we've removed the element from the list, then we can go ahead and clean up our suit. view destroy is what we want. Because there's quite a bit of memory that's associated with the view, so we don't want to, definitely don't want to leak that. So we call view destroy. Theoretically, everything will be cleaned up for us by that view destroy. So let's build and see if we can now dismiss our inventory view. Shown, hidden. All right, excellent. Oh, but now if we show it again, we hit a problem. So, I don't want to jump into the debugger. Let's just look at the code and see if we can figure it out first. So it was the second time we tried. Oh, you know why? We're not setting our thing to null. So after we do view destroy, we need to do inventory view equals null to clean up that. Because otherwise, it thinks we have a valid view when we don't, and then it tries to basically double deallocate the view. So, should fix that. Build. Inventory hidden. Inventory hidden. Hidden. Excellent. Quit. So that seems to work. So the next thing I want to tackle tonight, there's going to be a lot of data, string data that we're going to show on our inventory, because our inventory view is basically going to be a list of everything that we're carrying, and then some kind of status indicator about whether something is equipped or merely carried, and if it's equipped, then like what part of the body, what body slot is it might be equipped in. So we're going to be rendering a lot of text, and the string handling routines that we have and the string helper routines that we have are not. Working with strings in C is kind of a pain in the butt. So off stream, I started working on kind of a small helper library for string usage. And I'd like to start integrating that in before we build out our inventory views. So what we've got, let's look at the interface first. This is not fully implemented yet, as you'll see in a minute, but here's the interface that I'd like to have. Creating a string, and yes, I know we could just malloc a character string very simply, but this string create is specifically for creating a character string that takes some formatting. So almost like you see in a printf command, where you can have the string with the kind of escape characters that indicate that something's to be inserted into it, and then 0 to many. Hey, Certain Valen, thanks for the follow. I appreciate it. How's it going tonight? And then 0 to many variables following it that are inserted into that formatted string. So we've got string create that'll give you one of those guys. Then we have a simple append function that will take an existing character string and then a formatted string with some variables and slap the second half of that on, do the formatting and then slap that string onto the end of the first one. We've got a string destroy, which is really not, at this point, it's nothing more than a free, so that one might actually go away. And then some of the other functions that I'd like to see, you know, search for a substring within, or get a substring within a string. You give it a start index and a length. Trimming a string. Eventually we'll have splitting and joining strings. And then string compare. And then a couple, you know, does the string start with this other string? Does the string end with this other string? Does the string contain another string? And then the index of a substring within another string. So, you know, pretty standard. If you're used to higher level languages, you get pretty much all this stuff in the box. But with C, you have to build it yourself. They do have some string routines in C, some built-in functions, but they are not they're not the most user-friendly. So I'd like to wrap some of those within my own string library that I'll then use to build out that inventory view. So we've got here's the header string, the header file. Let's take a look at the implementation file at this point. I have done string create and string append so far. And that, yes, as I was saying, string destroy is nothing more than free, but it may grow into something someday, so it doesn't hurt to have it now and to build code based on it. Which, I mean, that's the nice thing about these helper routines. If I define, you know, the contract that I want to fulfill, then the implementation doesn't matter to the caller of these functions. It just, you know, the caller is just concerned with the, given these inputs, I get this output. How I arrive at that is not important to the caller. So if I decide I want to swap out these algorithms at a later date, I'm free to do that, and I won't break any of the calling code. So let's I had previously built a string utility. So that's not the command. So it's in our util. C file. Is it? Yeah. So right now I have this AS printf and then this SAS printf that I'm using, which is kind of a it was sufficient for what I wanted to do thus far, but what I've built in the string library will replace this. So I think probably the best thing to do right now is eliminate this and see what breaks, and then I can replace that stuff with my string code. And we use source control, so if all hell breaks loose, I can always revert. So I'm not too concerned. Always use source control, even if you're just doing stuff for your own consumption. It will save you hours and a lot of grief. Okay, so let's integrate. This music is kind of annoying. Let's skip that one. Go to the next. Too much Mr. Roboto. How's everyone doing this evening? Okay. So I want to integrate these. So I pull in util C here. This seems like a good place to include my, I think since this is a Unity build, I'm just going to include the implementation file. See how that goes. And then let me make sure OBS can see my terminal, so we can see all those delicious build errors that are as soon as I type the word build. Oh, it's just going to give me linker errors. Well, that's not Okay, so health, check, death. That's in game. So we've got this usage of this SAS printf. So really what we want to do is we want to replace that with, we're going to do our char star message, and we're going to do string 8, and we're just going to give it the you have died. This one is not a formatted string. We'll have more of those later on. And we'll place our free with string destroy. Got another one here, so all right, so save that and do a build. And now we also use it in combat deal damage, it looks like. Here it is. So we get so this one has some decent formatting. Go down here, this as well. Alright, let's see what else. Item get. Oh, there it is. Excuse me one second, I'm going to grab a tissue so I don't sniff in your face. Be right back. Sorry about that. All right. So let's see. Tried to build so that they conform to the same basic very familiar printf structure where you've got the formatted string and then the variable number of arguments that follow that and are plugged in to that string. So environment update. say S. So save. Render stats view. Okay, so that's in a different file. It's going to be the game screen. Stats view, which is in the lower left corner of the screen. It's everything. This file at least. Okay, apparently game. So let's run and make sure that it didn't destroy. Alright, we've got our stats view down here. It looks reasonable. We hover. Should get some messages appearing below now. Everything appears the same color. It's the same. That's good. Wow, there's one door. That's right. Let's get this guy out. It's interesting. Alright, now I've got a sword and a shield, but I don't have them equipped because we haven't given me any way in the game to equip those. So next thing, we'll start adding some information to this inventory screen so that we can, and some commands to this inventory screen that will allow me to equip my equipment. Okay, so now we have an easy way to generate some strings that are formatted. And what we've got a couple streams ago, we built out our equipment entity type or component type, and then we have a collection of so that's our game global list of everything, every game object that is considered a card. But then we also built out this list of carried items. So when a piece of equipment is out in the game world, it appears in this equipment comps list. I think if it exists in game, whether or not the player is carrying it or not, it's in this list. And then when a player picks something up, it gets, that's what it is, that it gets its position component, because it no longer has a position in the world, and it gets added to this carried items list. Let's just confirm. So world state init, we init carried items to be an empty list. Get weight carried. So item get, right, so when they get an item, if it won't make the entire load too heavy for the carry, it will insert it in the carried items list, and then the position component from that object. So what we need to do for the inventory screen is show everything that's in that carried items list. So we'll go to our render inventory view. Right now all we're doing is rendering the background. Through our list and CBC, what's up? Thank you. Yes, it's been a while. I am back and hope to be somewhat more regular schedule. Video games are so much fun to play, it's sometimes hard to take time to write them. So what we want to do is, I had some notes for this. Where did I put those notes? So for each item in the list, I want some indicator whether or not that item is currently equipped. And then I want the name of the item, and then if it's equipped, the slot that it's equipped in. Maybe we'll put it in something. And then the weight of that item. And then at the bottom of the list, we'll show the total weight carried and the maximum allowed weight. And then you can navigate the list by using the up and down arrows, and then we'll have some key that equips and toggles equipping and unequipping items. So some kind of indicator. Oh, it won't be yeah, it's the slot that will occupy or does occupy, yeah. And wait. Split this. So if we go to, set it up. Oh, we can do it split screen. Perfect. I thought they were in separate files. Jeez. So we'll grab this guy and put him over here. This guy will scroll to the top so we can see what's in our So we've got our slot and our weight and our is equipped on the equipment component, and then the name is on the visibility component. Perfect. So for each item, make sure that we're putting the game object into the list and not just the equipment component. Oh, it is the equipment. If I want to put the game object. Seems like I would instead. Change it shouldn't break any existing code. Let's just look at this code kernel. Get the position. Yeah, so item object gets pointed to something that is the equipment. Change this to item so that we're putting the game object in, not the equipment component of that. So it doesn't matter that much, but because we can kind of go back and forth. But let's just make sure that doesn't break anything. Let's pick something up in game and see. Okay, let's do it worked. No mayhem has ensued. Okay. So over here, we know that equipped carried items contains our game objects that are equipment. So to be able to render the information that we need in our inventory, we need to grab a visibility component. Do a get component. Give it our first to get a reference to the game object. And then get components com think. Comp visibility and comp equipment. And then if we render a row to the let's generate a string. Ternary operating. So if it is equipped, let's just show it as a star. It's not equipped, we can show it as sure. Just need something that's visibly different at this point. Say formatted string is going to be started off with the equipped character and then have the a string that'll be the item name, and then in brackets we'll have a string that is the slot file. But, texture indicates the weight. So then we'll supply the variables that will be fed into that string, so have the equipped string that we did. And then we need V, right? And then the slot, so EQ slot and EQ weight. So we pull slot and weight. That'll give us our item text string. Right, and then then we want to render that. So it's the inventory top. Where's my messages for you? So just trying I need to look at my console and see what I have, because I have strings to the screen. It's been a while. Put char at, so I'll put string at, so I can just put string, console put string, takes the string, x and y, and then, so let's just get them in highlighted colors and that sort of thing. Alright, so
change our names, live on the sun, where every sound is clearer, burns a little deeper, and we're close enough, but your lucid touch evaporates. I open up my eyes, wake up dreaming through the days and sleepless nights. Your lucid touch evaporates. I open up my eyes.
Internal global variable do something. It's purely documentation. So basically all of those are in my topmost. They're all defined to be static. So You guessed right. Internal, they're all aliases for static. It's really just as kind of like just a hint that it's a global variable, like local persist for within a function. It's a small crutch, but yeah, I mean, really, just because C has static meaning 3 different things, it's just a little bit easier to clarify.
Winds away around us, frozen in a moment.
Hey, Gun Games! Oh, how's it going, man? Haven't seen you in a while. Haven't been on in a while. So, how are you doing? Still working on your zombie game? So I should have a console that's given to me. It's passed in, and then a string, I think. String, and then XY foreground, background. Yeah, I hear ya. Yeah, one of those kind of hobby projects that just kind of goes wherever your whimsy takes you on a particular day. Exactly. It's fun though. Keeps you busy. So for X, let's just give it an offset of like starter string, like 2 cells in, and then this will be our index, our Y index. We should probably just do this. And then our foreground and background colors. Let's just make it simple for color. It's gonna be I'll just make background transparent. And then increase our Y. Yeah, if you're just coding it for yourself, then there's no rush. It's whatever you want to work on, whenever you want to work on it, so it's good. I feel like this particular project, I've been away from it for a while, so I've kind of been hankering to get back to it and really just finish it. So hopefully I can get a good schedule going and kind of just bang out the rest of the game and then move on to my next more ambitious project, which I'm not sure what that is yet. But take the stuff that I'm learning in this project and roll it into that. All right, let's see. So if I pick this up, hold on, my inventory right now has nothing. I pick it up, picked up the sword. Oh, okay. I want offset's a little bit off, but that's kind of what I'm looking for. Although now that I see it on the lighter background, I see that I want to do darker text, not lighter text. Thanks, Bredov. I appreciate it. Yeah, I think it's coming along. So there's a toggle between ASCII and graphical, and my ASCIification algorithm for this particular piece of imagery is, it's got some artifacts. I'll dive into that probably off stream and try and figure out what's going on, but it's kind of the way the different grid cells fall within that artwork. So you can see, like, under the S, it's mostly this tan, so it's going to color the whole cell tan. But, like, I'm not really sure what's going on with this N. I guess it's grabbing just enough of this beige that it thinks the whole cell should be beige. But, I mean, ASCII's got these half cell characters, so I don't know why it wouldn't be like half beige and then top be the black color or darker color. So there's something that's not quite right there that I need to tighten up. But my favorite, I think, let's see if I can get to a death screen, which is, I really like the way that one came out. Come on, hit me. Oh, so goblins are too weak. Find him. It's Cobalt. There we go. Hit me. Okay, so here's our screen, but I really like the. Alright, this part's a little bit wonky, but I like the way the skull renders. So it's kind of cool. Thanks, Gun Games. Yeah, it's coming along. It's fun. Alright, so it was drawing that first line of text too high. It was drawing it at, it was drawing on 0, so I start y-index off at 0, which is why. I should probably start it off at like 4. And then instead of white text, let's go with dark gray to start out with. Full opaqueness. Hey, Surgeon Valen. Thanks. I'm glad you like that. Yeah, it's kind of fun to. I'm proud of how that algorithm came together, because I just kind of thought about it and wrote some stuff down. A couple different thoughts about how I, thought I might be able to do it, and then coded up a couple of them and tweaked it a little bit, and it came together pretty nicely. So. Yeah, so I'm converting let's find that code. Where is that? I don't even remember where I put it. Is it right? Image load, Ascify bitmap. There it is. So it takes the image, or it will return an ASCII image. It takes a bitmap image, which is something loaded from a ping right now. It figures out how many rows and columns make up that image. So it needs to be, maybe that's part of the problem. I bet that's the problem with the scroll. I just realized now that the algorithm needs to have the width and the height need to be evenly divisible by 16, which is the size of our cells. So I bet that's what's throwing it off. We'll have to give that a try. So we figure out how many rows and columns we're going to have of ASCII characters. Throw an 8-bit. Where's the fun in that, Gun Games? So you were talking about how you kind of code whatever wherever your muse takes you. I was totally working the to-do list on this game, and just the idea popped in, hey, it would be really cool if I had an algorithm that took any bitmap image and turned it into like an ASCII representation of it. For no better reason than to just be able to say, hey, look, I can toggle between. Look how cool that is. And I mean, at some point, there's no reason that this algorithm couldn't be applied on the fly to like a series of images, like a movie perhaps, or something like that. If I optimized it enough, I could have this kind of animated GIF of something and then just render it ASCII on the fly. So yeah, this was more of a, hey, I just want to see if I can do it type thing. So yeah, we generate the ASCII image struct here, and then start filling in some of the information that we're going to need. And then basically what I do, I break the bitmap image into 16 by 16 chunks of pixels. I loop through them all and analyze for each chunk. I try and determine the primary and secondary colors, and I limited it here, just because I said I wanted to make it, maximum 2 colors. So primary, secondary colors. It does that by kind of analyzing the, which ones are most prevalent with a certain amount of contrast in between. And then it basically creates a 1-bit representation of the shape of the cell, so that it can determine which ASCII character best fits that shape. So then we determine the best glyph for the cell, and then we render that into our ASCII image glyph, and along with the primary and secondary colors. So that's kind of the algorithm in a nutshell. All right, so we moved it down, and then we changed the text color. So let's see. Pick up this sword. Let's find something else maybe. Well, Alright, so we need to... It's obviously a little bit too far over to the left here. And then our slot is null to look into. So that is not a... Oh, I'll have to look at that. Let's see if we can find another... There's another sword. So we'll get that. Carrying too much already. What? What did I make their weight carry limit for? I set it to like obscenely low. I want to find a shield. Because if you can't carry a sword and a shield, that's pretty weak roguelike. There we go, shield. Carrying too much. That's unacceptable. Let's figure that out. Where do I set max weight allowed? Alright, so how much do these things weigh? It's my config file, items config. Alright, so we got some math issues here because a sword only weighs 3 and a shield only weighs 4, so we've got some kind of problem. Yeah, there's an upcharge if you want to carry more than one item. That's where the in-app purchase. weight. Do I add, where do I add in the carried weight plus that? Is my get weight carried wrong? This is where, remember where I was worried if the game, switching out that game object was going to bite me in the butt? Here it is, right here. This is where it bit me in the butt. Okay, so E, the list data for E is no longer an equipment component. It's actually a game object. So to do this. Picking up a sword. Let's see if I can pick up that elusive second item. Where are they? Where's all my stuff? I have to fight through some goblins to get it. Picked it up. Alright, awesome. So now if I hit inventory, got 2 swords. Perfect. Okay. Hey, pickles cookies, thanks. Alright, so we need to push this over to the left a little bit, this maybe. And then our slot was coming in as null. Which is a bit strange, because I think I'm setting it in the config. Slot hand. Getting over these spring ones. So, getting into our equipment. Alright, Gun Games, I'm going to be logging off in a few minutes, so I may or may not be here when you get back, but have a good night, man. Put data in the slot. So, it seems like it's getting...
I'm here where endless meets the end. Do you see me? I'm
Slotting the slot, item add. call that? View slot. Config entity value, entity slot. View slot. Config entity value. Comes back as a string because I'm doing A to I here. I'm not seeing it right now. I think my brain is starting to shut down. Allergies are starting to kick up, so I want to be sniffing your ears off on the stream. So I think I might call it an evening. Try and figure out what's going on with that slot. It may not be. This is the first time we're trying to look at the slot, so it may not be getting in properly or something. I'm gonna have to trace it from the config file all the way through. So I think we got a lot accomplished tonight. Let's just check it out one more time. So we have our inventory view. Right now we don't have anything. Got a shield here, pick it up. Now it'll still needs to. Oh, I didn't build it since I shifted it over to the left, so got our item there. Let's go grab a sword. So we got these here. 2 shields and a sword in our list. So I think there's a couple things that I'd like to do next stream. I would like to justify these so that like all of the item names line up and all of the slots kind of line up, so it's nice and orderly in columns. Yeah, null items are legendary. Yeah, no, I was just while you were heating up your leftovers, I was trying to figure out why that's where the slot is going to appear. So for like a shield or sword, it would be the slot would be hand. For helmets, you'd have a head slot, that sort of thing. But for some reason, it's not getting read from the config file, or it's getting lost along the way. I need to trace through that. But it's getting a little late for me, so I think I'm going to call it an evening. But so next time, I'd like to line things up nicely in columns here. And then I'd like to implement the interaction here that will allow us to move up and down the list, and then toggle equipment as equipped or unequipped. And then you can also like drop it, or who knows what else we're going to add, but add some commands to this view. So I think that'll do it for me this evening. So I'm going to call it. Thanks everyone for watching. As always, archives are on YouTube if you want to see previous streams. Questions or comments, hit me up on Twitter at PDCodes, and then you can follow along at home if you want. The repo is up on GitHub with all the source code, so you can grab that and build it or tweak it or whatever you want to do. Be sure to hit that follow button so that you get notified the next time that I stream, which will hopefully be fairly soon. And I usually stream evenings, sometime between 7 and 9 p.m. Pacific. So hope to catch you next time, and thanks everyone for joining me. I will see you next time. Good night.